Yeah. I don't get the impression he still wanted to fight like Arbor Jack.
But he's 40, and it's like, these games are so hard. Getting to training camp, going through the whole thing, wanting to do it.
So
half the battle.
It is.
So Max Pacioretty, who I've got a lot of time for whatever, hanging on, giving his career another chance, right? To come in and do what he did, he gave everything he had.
Yep.
But he can't go to where Corey Perry and Brad Marchand are, and that's turn yourself into a complete prick. He can hit hard. He can hit hard, but he does not have the it factor to be truly like Perry or Marchand at the end of their careers.
But I think you can make the case he was as good as those guys in playoffs this year. What do you have? 5 goals?
But
he
maxed out for me.
Huge goals.
He maxed out for me.
Yeah.
But if he had
maxed out. Sorry.
excuse the pun.
We all know you're a dad, so you had to make a dad.
Yes. He squeezed everything he could, but he didn't leave himself in a position where if you're Edmonton or Florida now with their 2 respective guys, it's what do we do without him? How do we replace him?
Right.
Max didn't do that for the Leafs. He's gonna either retire or go try a PTO somewhere else. But
he doesn't want to do this anymore.
But that's my point.
Yeah.
Is that those guys
and Sam's
point, of course, is that those guys will go to the end of the earth to be those type of players, whereas Max had to kind of reinvent himself under a short period of time.
The key difference between Max Pacioretty with Brad Marchand and Corey Perry, Marchand and Perry started their careers as complete jerks.
Yeah.
And then Pacioretty was kind of known as not soft, but he was a sniper, not really that type of guy at all.
You're Pacioretty, they're like, you merely adopted the darkness.
100%. We were born in it. Anyways, game time?
Game time.
All right, it's game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app, latest odds, and find out why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. Somebody at softball the other night asked me if I do any gambling stuff on our show, and I'm like, yeah, I do a segment every day. He's like, what's the read? He's like, what do you have to say? And then I had to do it off by heart. Now I can do it off by heart.
Oh, you nailed it.
Yeah. So because the guy told me and I went back into my memory and I remembered it now. So there you go. It's been
game time.
It's only been 3 years.
3.5.
3.5 years. It's only been 3.5 years. So anyways, the Eastern Conference Final gets back underway tonight, and the Florida Panthers and Carolina Hurricanes pretty even, surprisingly. The Carolina Hurricanes are minus 105. Tampa. The Florida Panthers are minus 115. So pretty close both ways there. Any lean on tonight? Feeling that it ends tonight? Or
I feel like it all went right for Carolina last game.
Yeah.
Doesn't it feel like it has to go perfect for them to win?
Yeah, I would think that it probably ends tonight. And looking ahead to tomorrow night for the Oilers and Stars again, Edmonton right now, if you want to get them at plus money, they are plus 100 tomorrow night. So I would imagine that line would probably change heading into tomorrow. Money probably come in on the Oilers, but
Dallas would even the series.
I did.
I know.
I did. I actually bet on that.
I hit my Oilers minus goal and a half. I thought that was they're too good. They're just really good.
Knobloch deserves some credit.
He does.
When your team plays that structured and, they were up going into the third period. Dallas got 4 shots.
Dallas could not get any second or third waves on a forecheck. It was like the old one and done.
Yeah.
Get it in, it's out. Get it in, it's coming back out.
Gregor was talking about it. They're just trying so hard. It's just it comes down I know, but just the back checks, they are just
But there's
trying.
also a freedom to their game where it doesn't feel like they're afraid to play.
Yeah.
They still try to, when they have the puck, they still make plays. They still,
Oh, they get good looks.
They do.
They get decent looks.
And to me, that is a comfort being in these games, being in the playoffs, going deep before.
They must
they're
just
fine.
feel jinxed or something because there's like a force field that puck just won't cross the goal line.
You're looking at Rantanen like you do it.
Anyways, that was game time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and find out why it's ever ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Okay, let's take a quick break. When we return, we're going to welcome in Brian Lawton, former NHL player, agent, general manager, broadcaster. The guy's done it all, influencing the NHL. After the break, we're going to tell you how he influences now the Western Conference Final in the NBA. Yeah, I said it. The NBA. Brian Lawton, what are you doing? We'll find out when we return to Real Kipper and Bourne. This hour, Real Kipper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kiprios, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Derek Brandale, Jake the Snake Schultz, Charlie, and now Brian Lawton joins us. Lots, how are you, my friend?
Doing fantastic, Kipper. How are you?
You've been a busy guy in the sports world because, I mean, we're heavily into the NHL conference final, but they're also heavily involved in the conference final in the NBA, where you participated in an actual game, Lots. You didn't put on a uniform, but you ended up playing a key role in the game the other night in Minnesota, where Oklahoma City was up 128 to 126. There's only a few seconds on the clock. Our Canadian hero, SGA, MVP, throws the ball out of bounds. And who catches the ball with seconds on the clock, Lots? That was you.
That was me. And as my wife said, another ding-dong thing I did in public. I couldn't help myself.
But you turned yourself into an international story. So,
I don't know.
So hold on for a second. So the idea was he's throwing the ball out of bounds to kill the clock. Did you cross the line on the court to actually catch the ball?
You know what? The whole thing was...
Answer the question.
No, I absolutely did not. The whole thing was in slow motion. It was so bizarre. It was an incredible basketball game. I have to say that first. OKC was amazing. The Timberwolves didn't have their best stuff, but their bench was crazy. But it was so physical. I'm sitting on the court. I'm sitting in dead center on the court, essentially next to the two announcers. Yeah, it's not they're great seats. A friend of mine had invited me last minute. Of course I win. I'm watching this unfold. It's very frustrating. It's a super physical game. It looks like a hockey game. And it comes down to the last play. And SGA, who was amazing, drops 40, dominates the game after being not so good the game before. He somehow comes up with the final rebound to prevent the Timberwolves from having a chance to tie or win the game. And he falls down. He heaves the ball as far as he can while he's laying down. And as soon as he threw it, it was coming right at me. I was just like, oh my gosh. He's laying at the baseline, and I'm at just slightly over half court. I think 4 or 5 feet past the center of the basketball court. And I can see Hartenstein, however you say his name, humongous guy, 7'2", I believe, running as hard as he can to try to catch it. And I jump up from my seat. I never crossed the line. I looked at my feet. It was in such slow motion. I remember thinking, I have my phone in my right hand. This ball is coming right at me. What should I do? So, of course, I do the stupidest thing I can. I start to move closer to it because I want to touch the ball so the game doesn't end.
They were pissed at you.
Oh my gosh, they were so upset. Nobody really knew what happened. I swear to everyone, I looked down at my feet before or as this was all happening. I could see the ball coming. I could see the clock right behind it. I could see it ticking down in slow motion. And I know for a fact it was at like 0.6 or 7. As I catch this ball, essentially with one hand, because I have my phone in my other hand. So I